Okay, so got a couple of things we put together tonight I figured I'd let you guys take a look at. And for the first few minutes, I'm lucky because Rebecca's holding the camera for me and I'm not trying to do it all by myself. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you in typical OG kitchen fashion. It's 10 after 10 at night. We're just now getting ready to eat. Number two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kinds of meat. So here, I'm going to take this and I'm going to show you some stuff here. So first I was going to show you the tools I use tonight. So this thing on the left, I think it might even be the first time I've used it. Rebecca bought me this a while back. It's pretty cool. It's got the grill pan bottom to help conduct the heat and keep stuff from sticking, and it's pretty decent non-stick surface. And you guys can see, and oh my god, forgive the grease spatters. You can see it covers both burners, so you can actually use both burners and heat it, and work pretty well. And then 2 of my cast iron skillets. I didn't break out the big one tonight. I just used the middle one and the small one. So I'm going to show you what I did. So I'll walk through it step by step here. So I first took the big one here, and I should have recorded these as I was going, but it's been a rough day and I was tired, so I just didn't feel like it. Sorry. So I heated that puppy up. Got it like you should, where it's just starting to smoke. Once it started smoking, I took my steaks. And we got really lucky. We got 2 beautiful ribeyes, and I'm pretty sure it was a king and queen cut because one was nice and thick and the other one was a good size. Rub those down with some oil, and because I like to show you what I use, this is what I put on the steaks. Grill Mates Montreal steak seasoning. It's good stuff, nice and spicy. Dropped mine in first. Seared it for 2 minutes, super hot, then pulled it out and set it aside. Then I dropped Rebecca's in, seared it for 3.5 minutes aside. I've told y'all this before, she doesn't like her steak. Anyway, I'll try not to talk about her ruining her steak. She gets mad at me. So after they both seared, and they'd set aside for a minute, I stuck them back in the pan. And they're ribeyes. So what I did, and this worked out really well, was I stood them up right in the pan. So they're like this way. Stood them up on the rib bone side. And when I put them in the oven, I put it on a convection roast. So that way, standing up, the air could, sit there and circulate around them. And it worked out pretty well, I think. So once the steaks were done, hold on, not done. Once I got them ready and stood up, and I put my temperature probes in it, stuck them in the oven. While those were in the oven, I broke out this little guy. And Rebecca had picked up at the store a bourbon salmon fillet, which was really pretty. You'll see it in just a second. So I heated the pan up just so it would char the bottom just a tad. Dropped in a big pat of butter. Dropped it in there, threw it in the oven with the steaks, 350 for 17 minutes. I think it turned out pretty fantastic. So here's what I did with the big guy. Just because everything was going to be hot, I went ahead and cooked them. I cooked a pack of bratwurst. And the other thing we found at Publix the other night that was pretty cool, they were salmon hamburger patties. So we decided to give those a try, so I threw 2 of those on the other end. Once all that was done, pulled those out, stuck them in the microwave to keep them warm. I don't know if I've told you guys this. The doctor said that one of the things Rebecca could be allergic to is shrimp. So when I went to cook my shrimp, I always make sure I do it last. I'll make sure everything else is already put aside and resting. So once everything else was out of the pan, I took my shrimp that had been sitting in a big rubber container. I put them in a container with about, 2-3 tablespoons of oil and 1/4 cup of this gorgeous stuff. And then just for shits and giggles, I poured the rest of the sriracha I had left in the cabinet in there. Threw those in, let them get nice and done, pulled them off. And at the same time, Donovan was working on some potatoes, boiled, stick of butter, garlic, seasoned salt, good stuff. So anyway, I'm going to show you what all this turned out looking like here. I'm going to tell you, this is some pretty stuff. So first, here are my brats. The salmon patty I did for Rebecca with a nice little char on the back. Or the salmon fillet, sorry. And these are the 2 salmon burgers. Can't wait to see how they turned out. Alright, so here's the other thing I'm going to show you. That was so bad. I finished the shrimp in the pan. And I poured all the drippings with all that oil and sriracha and Cajun seasoning in there with it. And after they were done, just let them sit in there and... Oh, that's pretty. Nice and just barely firm, and all those gorgeous spices. Like that one, you can just see that gorgeous Cajun spice just sitting there ready to go. We're going to talk about this again in a minute because I got a plan for this. Alright, so Guinness bottles, always. So let me show you what I did with this this ribeye. So pulled it out, threw it on a plate, covered it in foil, let it rest. That is a monster hunk of ribeye. I generally do these after I sear them and I stick them in the oven. I cook 9 to 125 because that's what they say to do. To be honest, I'm thinking about dropping it to like 95. I am absolutely a blue rare kind of guy. So I'm hoping when I cut this puppy open, yeah, I can live with that. Light's kind of crappy. Hold on. Let's see if I can fix that. It's a little more done than I like, but it's still gorgeous. Alright, so last thing I was going to show you. So here's Rebecca's. Like I said, she murders a piece of meat. She's going to yell at me from the living room. Alright, so here we go. About the same size, but not quite as thick. Which, honestly, is always good because I don't have to worry about it not getting done. Let's see if I can pull off a... No, that's not going to work. One of these days I'll get this right. So, it's really hard to cut a steak with one hand. Let's see how this one turned out. Like I said, she doesn't like any pink left whatsoever. If I leave the pink, she ends up putting it in the microwave. Sorry, Rebecca, I'm fixing to pull your steak apart with my fingers. Oh yeah, I think she'll be very happy with that. So I guess that's it. Oh, so the other thing I was going to tell you about the shrimp. Once I get my steak all nice and cut up, and I pull the shrimp out of that marinade with the sriracha and the grease and just the butter and all that good stuff, I'm so going to pour it on my steak. So anyway, that's pretty much what I did tonight. Hopefully I'll get another one done pretty soon, and I swear at some point I'll have her come in and hold the camera and let's get all the steps and let you see. Keep an eye out though, tomorrow I got 3 racks of baby backs going on the smoker. Good stuff. Probably put them on about lunchtime, let them go low and slow so they're done when she gets off work. So anyway, OG Kitchen, peace out.